We just took a break, and we were having a little laugh here in the studio because Chaunce Hayden is sitting, and he's watching this while we're talking about eating healthy after the holidays, and he's trying to eat healthy right now.
Right.
And I've seen him twice today. And I'm new to all this, right? I'm new. The last year, I've really changed my diet, and I'm a big believer of the blood type diets, by the way. With my blood type, they say eat red meat. I've been eating a lot of red meat, and I feel really healthy. Here's what he's having here. I saw him twice today. This morning I saw him with a smoothie, and I'm seeing him now with a smoothie. And during the break, we both asked him, why are you having a smoothie? Because I want to be healthy. I'm a little hungry, but I don't want to really eat something. And I looked up how many calories his smoothie is. 350 calories for the smoothie, and 350 calories this morning for the smoothie.
And his answer was low glycemic.
Low glycemic. By the way. So there is sugar there. Not a lot, according to him. But this is a great example of what people do when they think they're being healthy and they are dropping weight and they're trying to get into and they're trying to, take the calories off and the pounds off. They go to these.
Yep.
But this is not always the answer.
That's right.
I'm looking here, 350 calories you could have ate.
Well, it usually isn't your answer. And I'll tell you, Chauncey should know better because he is part of the program with LifeMod. This thing here, first of all, I think Chauncey said almond and cashew milk on this.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so if you're, look, and he also said low glycemic, which very interesting because the problem with, and this is what we teach in LifeMod, one of our things is we do a huge questionnaire and we ask people their sort of their habits on a daily basis. If you eat this, you've just consumed 350 calories. Whether it's low glycemic or it's non-low glycemic, it's still 350 calories. A calorie is a calorie is a calorie for the purpose of, weight loss and weight gain. There is a difference in how we process and metabolize a low kilocalorie, low glycemic calorie as opposed to like a high glycemic calorie. In other words, a calorie from straight sugar is different from a calorie from like a banana, for example. But in terms of what that does to your body, it's about the same. So you've consumed 2 of these today, I hear.
I had 1 for breakfast,
yep,
and I had 1 for lunch.
350, that's 700 calories. Have you eaten any food?
No.
Okay. So you're going to go eat after this, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And we're probably going to have a decent meal.
Yep.
And you're probably going to have a glass of wine. Am I correct?
Or 2.
Or
yes.
2.
Okay. That's as much as we can say you should. So you're way over the edge for probably the day on this. Now, did you work out this morning?
I have not yet worked out. But I do plan on working out at one point today.
Okay. Is that after your a couple of glasses of wine or before?
Yes. I plan to do the damage first, and then after the damage, come up to the gym and repair the damage.
All right, good. Look, go ahead.
No, so I am concerned about this because you go to these smoothie shops and you just think you can't go wrong. If you order a fruit smoothie, right, or a low glycemic smoothie, you think that's a no-brainer, that you've just made the right decision. So it is kind of disturbing to know that, instead of eating solid food today, I opted to have no bread, no bad carbs, instead have 2 smoothies with fruits in them and almond milk. And you assume that that's going to be a healthy choice. And so this is kind of alarming.
No, it is alarming, and it's a great example because the problem with this country right now is that we are a society of being on the go, and so you think that you're doing something great by doing this because you're like, look, I'm getting some fruits, I'm getting some vegetables.
I'm not chewing.
I'm not chewing. Yeah. And that concept is so wrong. We teach people at LifeMod, this is how the obesity rate is where it's at right now in this country because people make these choices all the time. They think they're healthy, but they're not. You have to really remember and think about how much consumption of calories you're taking in a day. And I'd rather that it's from chewing something than actually drinking something. There's nothing wrong with a smoothie once in a while or here and there, but if you're not extracting those calories like working out, for example, or you could use it as a replacement. I think correct or not, Chauncey, do you feel right now now maybe you feel like crap, but before this you probably felt like, hey, I'm doing something really healthy today.
Yes.
And so now you feel like you can go eat something and be okay because you've been good and healthy for the first half of the day.
Well, if I go out and eat now, it would be a salad and a glass of wine.
Got it.
It would be very low calorie, whatever I would do from this point on. But let me ask you something. So I had 2 of those. I have a salad. I work out. How many calories am I allowed to have a day? A guy my size, right? My age, my size.
It's a beautiful question.
How many calories am I supposed to have? And like you said earlier, at the end of the day, it's just mathematics. It's calories in, calories out, right? What you burn. So if I could just get that number, then I can kind of plan my day mathematically.
This is why this is amazing, because you're a LifeMod member, correct? Right. That's a beautiful question, because I don't have an answer for you. The answer is I don't know. And I'm going to tell you why I don't know.
Oh, you know my smoothie answers, but you don't have that answer.
That's right. Let me tell you why I don't have that answer, and that's why we love LifeMod. Every single person is different. I know the answer to you specifically. We would have given that number to you at one of our LifeMod sessions. But your number is different from Andrew's number, is different from my number. And that is what's wrong with Weight Watchers
and fad diets.
Paleo fad diets.
Yeah.
Because they're so generalized. And the reason I don't know for you, although I do know because you're a member and I can tell you specifically what your number is that
fingers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's right. 2, Chaunce. The reason that I don't specifically know is because I don't know what your goals are. Again, I'm talking generally. If I brought somebody in as a member, and I do know yours, and we're not going to discuss it here. But if you were, let's say you're 180 pounds, and you want to increase your muscle mass by 20%, the amount of calories you should have during the day is different for you than it would be for somebody the same weight who doesn't want to put on any muscle. And if you were a female, for example, or a male who wants to cut down on muscle a little bit, believe it or not, there are a lot of members that we have that are just too top heavy in terms of muscle. And I'm not talking about top like your upper body, but they're just top heavy in terms of muscle. They have a lot of muscle mass, and they feel like they're just not. They want to, for example, go run. Same age, same weight as you, completely different profile in terms of how many calories they should bring in. That's why fad diets don't work. For you, I can give you a number, and maybe we should do that on the next session, on the next podcast.
I would honestly like to know what my number is. For me, because I want to lose weight. I want to lose 15 more pounds. I'd like to lose 15 pounds by the spring. So what would be my calorie number each day that I can look at, and I can keep track on my phone? I can say, okay, I'm up to 1,200 calories. How much more can I do and still be dropping weight?
Right.
I think it's the most important thing to know.
Yeah, well, and I don't know if I agree with you. I'm going to actually disagree with you. And I think that's part of the reason that LifeMod has been so successful is because we are programmed to think that that's what you need to know, that number is something you need to know.
Look at a number. This is my number. This is my goal. And I'm going to space the day out following this.
You know what's another problem with that? What is another problem with that? The problem is that you can say, somebody told me that it's 350 calories.
But it may not be.
But it may not be. And also, when you go eat at a restaurant,
there's no way of knowing.
There's no way of knowing.
Right.
And so, rather than focusing on numbers, we focus on habitary changes and just making you aware of how you feel during a day and what you put into your mouth.
Also, it's not all about calories either. It's about the fat content, the sodium, the sugar, everything else that's involved also. So we're talking about calories now as an example because before we started recording, Chaunce was talking about how this is healthy because it's low in calories for him. But technically it's not, because if for 350 calories for a smoothie, you're better off sitting and eating a meal for 350 calories.
Absolutely.
Which is easy to do.
Absolutely. Plus, it helps if you're eating an actual meal, it'll help your digestion a little bit better. You're actually breaking down foods, you're emulsifying. And
what would you rather have, a chicken
rate.
salad with no dressing or this?
May I address what Andrew just said?
Yes, please.
Because I think he just brought up a good point. So what he just said is that there are good calories and bad calories. And it does matter what type of calories you're eating. I've always heard that a calorie is a calorie is a calorie, that it does not matter, that if you consume 2,000 calories, no matter how it got there, If you consume 2,000 calories and you go out and you jog 5 miles and burn 500 calories, you've now have a total of 1,500 calories for the day. And that will either make you lose weight or gain weight, but at the end of the day, it's that cut and dry. Is that true? A calorie is a calorie?
No, and I told you a little while ago, a calorie isn't a calorie is not a calorie. In terms of in and out calories, you can look at it that way, deposit in, deposit out, whatever. But we're completely missing the whole, what Andrew said was, a calorie can be consumed by itself, or it can be consumed with sodium, or it can be consumed with fats, and it can be consumed with protein. And so a calorie from a protein is much healthier for you than a calorie from sugar. Do you understand? There's a huge difference. And so again, let's kind of take a step back. You didn't do anything wrong today, Chaunce. You're fine, and and we're proud of you.
Why don't I feel fine?
I think because I'm here.
That's right. This is Andrew's fault. That's right. That's right. No, you're doing fine, and that's what we teach you in LifeMod, and you know this, and I know that we're kind of right now we're doing this so that we can kind of educate our members, but you have to remember that you can do this. It's just you have to be aware of what's coming in, and just because it's a smoothie doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it right. So you have to kind of be very, very cognizant of what you put in your mouth.
Great headline. Just because it's a smoothie doesn't make it right.
I love it.